A question posed to me by my guides. Who are you? When we start to think about this question, a number of things may come up. You may start listing off being a mom, being a therapist, being a healer, being something, and not recognizing that you're listing off things that you do. These are roles that you have. So when I began to think about this, I began to do the same thing as I'm talking to my guides in meditation. And they were quick to point out that it's not the roles that I've taken on, but more who I am in between those moments. When my kids are away, am I still a mom? When I'm not doing a healing session, am I still a healer? When I'm not on here talking to you guys, am I still a speaker? So I began to really sit with that for a moment, and I recognized the being who is there in between. Many of us would think, oh my gosh, if I'm not doing something, I am nothing. Without these roles that I've taken on, all these hats that I've placed on my head, without them, I am nothing. And I think that's what causes a good deal of disappointment and frustration when jobs end, when we're caretakers of loved ones, and then those loved ones finally get a chance to move on, and we're left with an empty role. When your kids go off to college or whatever happens in your life that becomes disruptive and you no longer get to be that thing you were, you go back to being who you were naturally. I think also that this recognition allows us to know why in those roles there are times where we don't feel fulfilled. Is because no one role completely embodies who we are in between the times when we are not being those things. So what would it be like to give ourselves space and time to be in between the roles that we have, instead of constantly doing? Maybe give yourself 5-10 minutes. You may be looking at this video saying, I don't have 5 or 10 minutes. Well, then we need to talk about reprioritizing your life, because that's pretty terrible. But who would you be in between being a mom, in between being a healer, in between being someone who works in an office? Those things don't define who you are. I've not been the first person to say that. But when's the last time you got a chance to be that person? I'm asking myself and you at the same time. Give it some thought.